Okay, my name is Aleksandr Ivanov, and I'll tell you about laboratory test ordering on FHIR. I'm senior engineer at Medlin's company in Russia, and we do some FHIR-based solutions since version DSTU2. Our main customers is private laboratories who'd like to have real-time API to receive requests to make tests and to output results to their customers. And I'll tell you how to make such kind of API, our approach, and some issues with the current version of standard. First, I have to tell you about two types of customers in Russia. First, it is B2B type of customers, and the second one, B2C type of customers. In Russia, common people can come to laboratory and order tests on their own, and they'll receive automatically generated conclusion from laboratory and not only diagnostic report. It won't be signed by any doctor, and it's legal in Russia, and it's not legal in any other countries. So I won't tell much about such type of interaction right now, but if you are interested, you can ask me after the main part. The second part of interaction is request from B2B, and let's have a look at what type of requirements do they have. Usually, customers of their laboratory would like to know which tests are available for them, and this information can change all the time. And some customers have more tests available for them than the other. Also, they would like to know which type of specimen are available and which type of containers can be used. They would like to know which type of observation will be returned to them, and also how long will it take to make tests or make a lot of tests. Some information how specimen should be handled, and we call this pre-analytics, and how requests can be sent to laboratory and results received. Let's have a look at FHIR resources which can be used to fulfill these requirements. Prior to current version of standard, all these type of interaction couldn't be expressed at FHIR, or there was no easy way to express such kind of interactions. Now we have composition, this sole resource, where we put all list of all tests which can be done. Then we have metadata about real tests. How long will they take? Are they orderable, and so on? And then information about tests, information about specimen, information about results. Also, we have resources to make requests and resources to report results. Also, you can see that there are some gaps between requirements and between available resources, and I'll tell you how can you cover these gaps. First of all, I should tell you that a lot of resources appeared, but they are not mature enough. So it's some kind of disclaimer that if you would like to use them, you should do it on your own risk. And the good part that a lot of companies are interested in catalog track. I've found these names of companies from reports from Connectatons. So I think that these resources will be mature in next version of standard. Let's have a look at the example. Example was created by Order Catalog Work Group, and they would like to encode how, for example, complex panel can be encoded with FHIR resources. We took creatinine 24 hours renal clearance panel. It consists of two atomic tests. First is 24-hour urine creatinine panel and serum creatinine test, which can be done from different type of specimen and these types of specimen can be taken in different type of containers. So we would like to encode these, and there are some requirements which have to be gathered at order time, and also we would like to write down somehow that a lot of observation will be reported back to the customers. So the main idea to use the plan definition as a complex resource with actions inside it, and all the actions covered by a logical group. In this logical group, we say that all actions inside it should be done. First action is a group. I'll tell you about it later. Second is urine panel, urine atomic test, and third one is creatinine clearance. First item is group as well. Here we put other type of selection behavior, which is called at most once, and using such type of behavior we can tell our customers they should choose whether they would like to make this test from venous blood or capillary blood. Also, all activity definitions have links to specimen definitions if they are required, and information about observation which will be reported. So, okay, we have seen how these can be encoded, but how customers can receive this information. First, we had composition as a first entry point of our request, and we have a common operation called document, which gathers all resources which are linked with composition. So we generate bundle with all resources and send back them to the customer. Some customers also would like to output prices for lab tests, and they can do it using contract resource. Next part is estimated time to accomplishment. There is no standard way to do it in current version. I misspelled here that for sure we have 3 extensions for catalog entry resource. They're called estimated time to accomplish status, estimated time to accomplish delay, duration, and estimated time to accomplish duration. The rules are the following. If the test is available, then you should take information from ETA duration field, and if they're delayed, you have to combine duration and delay duration times, and if it's stopped, then catalog entry becomes not orderable and customers can't order it. In next version of standard, we propose to add all of these fields, but only one was accepted, and it's called estimated duration. So we can throw away one of our extensions. In next version, this will be part of the standard. Also, I have to mention that there is other proposal called schedule summary, where you can write such kind of information in the text form. Okay, pre-analytics. Our customers would like to know how to handle specimens, and they would like to know information whether some specimens can be taken into one container. For example, some blood tests can be taken in one container. Usually labs provide the textbooks with guidelines, but we decided that we can encode it with API. It is not common operation for FHIR, so we have to create our own. If you create extension operations, then usually you should start them with X prefix. Standard tells you that there won't be standard operations started with this letter. You have to send information about chosen activity definitions, specimen definitions, and we return back bundle with all resources required to make request for lab test. Why don't we send here plan definition? Because you have to choose concrete versions if you have any choices inside plan definition. There's some issue with specimen because we doesn't have any type of status of specimen like draft or proposed. So, and status field is required. So we use active or something like that. And it's not really good, but there's no other ways to do it. Okay. Next thing is to make order lab tests. If you attended a presentation about workflow, I think that you know how to make it in the simple way. When you create task and you create service request to make requests, and we have done such type of workflows prior to current version of API. But our customers told us that it's not easy for them to gather all the information back. And they ask for the other type of interaction when customers send bundle, like document with the description of all tests that should be done, description of all specimen to do this test, and generate task to process this bundle at once. And it's much easier to customer to receive only two resources and not much of them. But here we have a problem that if there were several requests inside a bundle, then we have to report it, that some of requests was completed by a laboratory. And our customers suggested us to do something like that. When laboratory receives a bundle, it creates in task contained subtasks and tracks information about service request from bundle in these fields. Then if there are some updates on service requests, they just generate document reference and put the link to document reference to the output of contained task. Well, or when all requests inside bundle completed or cancelled, then the task is moved to some of the states like completed or cancelled. If test was cancelled, then there is operation outcome put in output task. Okay, how our customers can receive these documents? First of all, they should find out whether the task was changed or not. It can be done in two ways. First, by polling, when you ask server whether the task has changed all the time. And the other type is to use notifications. It can be done with subscription. In FHIR, we can make both of these ways to do it. And if the task has changed, then customer should take this task, output, take link to documents from it, and then take information about whether structured document or maybe PDF version of result. So here are some thoughts about such approach. First, I think that almost all types of interaction can be done with current state of FHIR. But some resources and extensions are not mature, so you have to create such types of API on your own risk, and your customer have to understand that there can be changes in the next version of FHIR. But anyway, work group tries to suggest you some solutions. How can you migrate to new version? And the last thought is sometimes it's much easier to use custom workflows for API and not to use only those which are described on the workflow page of FHIR, on FHIR. That's all. I think. Any questions? Yeah.
I've got a, question, comment. I don't know if you, some of your diagrams seem to indicate it, but then your description said the other way. But catalog entry is a very recent change in the order catalog group, basically to drop catalog entry.
Yeah, I've told that they're not mature enough and that they can be changed. In the 4th version, the current version, we have catalog entry. Right. So if you do your version of API right now, I think that and you want to follow the specification, you should use catalog entry. I believe that there was no way to link plan definition exactly.
Right. So I mean, so the proposal now is
yeah.
Draft, it's going to be dropped and it's going to be replaced by
plan definition and
point back to the
yeah.
catalog header.
And I believe that some fields from catalog entry will be migrated to whether plan definition, and some of them will be migrated to activity definitions. I've seen that proposal about duration is moving to activity definition. Yeah.
Is LOINC something you considered for coding?
Well, in Russia we have no government regulations on which names of tests or codes should be used in private sector. So government and laboratories have common set of names, and it's not LOINC. But if you build API for private companies, then you can't express all these things using LOINC. We try to encode observation definitions with LOINC. So we tell our customers that the result of the test will contain such set of observations. And we use LOINC there, yeah. And it's not government requirement, it's just our own decision. Because we believe in LOINC. Yeah?
Question, how did you consider labels exchange as part of this process? Is it somehow considered?
You mean how container labels? There are two ways to do it. First way is not using API as well. Our customers can send blocks of labels which can be put on containers. So it's absolutely offline process. And some of our customers can use pre-analytics method. And if we know that they have some type of printer, which do we support, we can generate base 64 encoded version of label, and they can print it on their own printer and put this label on container inside the organization. So if you would like to send them label information, we put it here. And we put it in extension of Specimen.
An extension of Specimen.
Yeah. I haven't mentioned it here. I think that I'm out of time, so I have to stop. If you would like, you can find me outside and I'll answer your questions.